Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. All right, second hour kicks off right now on this Monday morning of July 13th. Thanks for hanging out with us and making us a part of your start. If you're up and at it, let's kick off this hour with a little VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. I'll start off with the worst, just to get the you want the good news or the bad news first. I think the worst. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Getting swept, but also Brewers' health heading into the All-Star break. Specifically when it comes to their pitching. So, do you have a word? Do you want to probably?
My worst is, it's the exact same as yours.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, right? I can't think of anything else that would probably top that. My best, I got to give a tip of the cap to our 9U team. We were down in Holman all weekend. We went undefeated and got the championship. Long weekend, late night last night. But we're rocking her. So shout out to the kiddos for playing in that heat and getting it done. So best of the weekend. Shout out to the 9U Blue Eau Claire Nationals team. So there you have it.
Congratulations.
Oh, hey, that's all the kiddos. It was all the kiddos. A lot. But kudos to them. They played awesome. So, Other than that, did you have anything good for the weekend to kind of highlight, or just? It was a weekend, and that was what was good.
It was a weekend. That was what was good. But I took a trip with my dad and uncle down to Canterbury, Minnesota.
Oh, nice.
Yep, watched the horses run.
I was just going to ask, did you watch the horse?
Yep,
okay.
that was pretty fun. That was my first time ever doing something like that, so that was pretty cool.
I haven't done that, but I've heard quite a few people going over there doing it and having fun with that.
It's cool. It's definitely interesting, definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that they have corgi races down there, and I have one. So
I didn't know that.
So next year, it might be training year this year. Next year, I might try to get him in there.
Nice.
So see how that works.
So did they actually run the corgis when you were there?
No, that's on August 9th.
Okay.
So
got it.
Maybe I'll have to.
You might have to go and scout
the competition. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of get a feel for that. I did not know that they did that. So.
They do. I think I looked it up after. They do all types of different dogs.
Okay.
Like all throughout the summer. So
Interesting. So.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, the rest of you, share it with us. What's the best and what's the worst from this past weekend? Our VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. Let's kind of still with some baseball because since we're on that topic here, was the MLB draft this past weekend. And, I mean, I don't want to get into a full breakdown of these players because Major League Baseball draft, it's such a crapshoot for a lot of these players, and for a wide majority of them, we may not see them for a couple of years. Not every guy is going to be like a Bryce Harper or a Ken Griffey Jr. that's going to play right away. That's not going to be the case. Some do. Some get up quicker, like a Paul Skeens moved up pretty quick and that. But from a Brewers, and that's the other thing too. When it comes to this baseball draft, I know people are like, well, why did they draft a shortstop when they've already got? It's a few years. It's kind of like a marathon, right? It's not going to be an immediate one, but it's kind of a family affair too because Trey Ebel, who was drafted, his brother's already in the Brewers organization, was their first round pick from last year too. So that's kind of a cool story on there. And I think you almost go, especially where the Brewers were drafted number 25 in the first round. I feel like this is the one draft where you maybe just go best available and load up regardless of position. I remember a few years ago, the Angels, I think it was when they still had Ohtani, but I think used every pick on pitchers because they just couldn't figure out pitching. But I feel like the MLB draft is just go in there and you pick who's best on your board and just load up at every other position. So
Yeah.
Do you follow the MLB draft, or it's so hard to, I feel like, at times?
It's tough because also these players might not even sign with the Brewers.
Exactly.
So you're talking about not seeing them in the majors for a few years. You might not see them again, or you might not see them in a Brewers uniform. And But I think the Ebel pick, I mean, it's smart. You can probably get him to sign for slot value because his brother plays here, and I'm assuming they want to play together again. So.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, people saying, why'd you draft a shortstop? Well, okay, Cooper Pratt's most likely the shortstop for the future, but we don't know the future of Terang. Even if Madej comes up and plays, 6 years or so at third base, if we can't lock him down, you're always going to need new people, especially with a team like the Brewers.
Yep, yeah. And let's face it, too, a lot of these guys, they might be trade capital later on, too. When you boost up your farm system and you have a plethora of prospects, they might be used as trade stuff, too. So, and a lot of these, too, some of these guys are coming right out of high school. So I don't follow a lot of California high school baseball, so I couldn't tell you a whole lot about some of these players. But the cool one was the final pick, I believe, was in the 20th round for the Brewers. But the Brewers drafting a kid that has a little bit of familiarity with the franchise. His last name's Sabathia, Karsten Sabathia, which is CC Sabathia's son. So the Brewers drafting him in the 20th round, and he does remember a little bit about the Brewers. I think he said he was in kindergarten around that time. But he said, quote, I remember not wanting to leave Milwaukee because it was the summertime. And I was like, Mom, we're in Milwaukee and I never have to go to school. This is awesome. I never want to leave. Being real young, that's all you're thinking about. I remember going to the stadium and loving the uniforms, loving the colors, loving the slide in deep left center. Just all of those memories that you have as a kid, those are all flooding back. So, again, we may never see him suit up for the Brewers, but that's kind of the thing, too, when it comes to the MLB draft. You have some of these cool stories and fun stories, too. I mean, father, sons. I mean, that's got to be pretty cool for CC and his family to see that his son not only drafted in Major League Baseball, but going to a team that, CC was only there for a half a season, but he made such a huge impact, and he clearly enjoyed his time in Milwaukee. And ironically, just a couple months ago, Milwaukee inducted him to the Wall Walk of Fame, too. I always get those two mixed up once in a while.
I think it was just the Wall. I don't think he has a Walk of Fame spot.
Because the Walk is the higher one, right?
Yeah,
the Wall.
Yeah, the Walk's the higher. It's
just
around the stadium.
Yep. So kind of that pretty cool story, too. So
he'll be playing with Prince Fielder's son, Jaden Fielder, pretty soon.
That's right.
Most likely, because he's with
oh
Low
my
A.
God,
Yeah.
Jaden looks like Prince so much.
Mm-hmm. If only his swing could look like Prince's.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to bash him. I mean, he's made it further than I would ever make it, so it's good for him. But yeah,
and a second baseman too. So I mean, he's going different between his dad and grandpa.
Yeah,
because Cecil was first baseman DH, I believe. I mean, he was a bigger dude too, but all right. So
that'd be cool for Low A. You get to see two alumni sons.
That would be.
Also, this is the first time that I found out that CC Sabathia's full name is Karsten.
Oh,
and
so
he's a junior as well.
So it's Karsten the third?
Yeah, it's Karsten the third. Karsten Sabathia the third.
Yes, I love that even more.
Except he's a hitter this time.
Perfect.
Not a pitcher. He's a first baseman. So
I like it. All right, tell you what, let's take a quick break, and we're going to get to a little bit of a hoop stock here with the Bucks. Some drama over the weekend on Friday, but then Bucks also adding to their roster. We'll update you on the latest coming up after these quick words. Looking for the perfect summer hangout? Well, then you need to make your way on over to the VFW Post 305 right here in Eau Claire. Enjoy some beautiful views overlooking the river, some great food, some cold beverages, and some of the best live local music that you will find anywhere in the Chippewa Valley. Whether you're meeting some friends after work or spending a summer evening outdoors, VFW Post 305 is the place to be. Great views, great music, great times. That's the VFW Post 305, 1300 Star Avenue in Eau Claire. Shifting gears here for just a little bit, a little hoops chat, as we've got Summer League going on right now in the NBA. And, Friday, a little bit of a news nugget. Apparently, new Milwaukee Buck member, Tyler Herro, and his former teammate, Bam Adebayo, got into a little bit of an altercation on Friday morning. Apparently, according to ESPN, Adebayo struck Tyler Herro in the head area. I don't know if that's another way of saying he got punched in the head or slapped or what. But the altercation occurred, according to ESPN, at a practice court in a Las Vegas hotel. It started when Bam Adebayo approached Tyler about comments the guard made critiquing the center on social media after their 7-year run as teammates in Miami ended when Herro was traded to Milwaukee. Tyler was seated courtside for Friday's Summer League game between the Heat and the Bucks, and he was interviewed during the game, saying, quote, "It's all love in Miami. I've seen a couple of the guys, coaching staff, Chris Quinn, Eric Spoelstra, the front office guys. We're all good in Miami, just an opportunity for both sides to reset, get a fresh start, and both are super happy with this. An organization like Miami, they want championships. They play for championships. It's part of the business. I know how good I am, what I'm capable of. Just got to continue to keep working and try to stay healthy and represent this new team how I'm supposed to." So, I'll add a little bit more to that drama between these. I don't know if drama is the right word, but add a little bit more intrigue to these two teams now. With, we'll see if that anything kind of carries over to the regular season. If there's maybe a little bit of animosity or a little bit of heat or whatever. But Bucks weren't done making news over the weekend though, because Milwaukee. Also locking up Gary Trent Jr. He agreed to a 4-year, $64 million deal to return to the Bucks. When I first saw this, I got to admit, I'm a little puzzled, a little curious, questioning this move. I mean, Gary Trent Jr. last year, he shot 41%, 39% from three, but only averaged 9.7 points per game. He had signed for the league minimum in the summer of 2024 and then got a 2-year, $7.5 million contract before the start of last season, but he opted out of his player's option to become a free agent. This puzzles me a little bit, Justin. I don't know about you, but 4 years, $64 million for Gary Trent Jr. Now, Gary Trent Jr. a few years ago, before he was with the Bucks, yeah, he was putting up some decent numbers. I think, at times averaging 18 points per game, 17 points per game and that. But now you're $64 million for 4 years? I don't know about this.
Yeah. So basically kind of there's some stuff being floated out about this, about how maybe Gary Trent Jr. and the Bucks came to a handshake deal last summer.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yep, and now this was the way to circumvent kind of salary cap, and so they said one more year on a minimum, and then maybe we'll get you a fully guaranteed contract. Not sure if that is, but after how he played last year, that seems like it could be likely. I mean, the next NBA is expected to investigate now, so we'll see what happens. But
yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the move, but that's kind of the thing that happens with these handshake deals, is you can't go back on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so I was reading a little bit from The Athletic, and this was from it was a few writers, including David Aldridge and John Hollinger and that. But it started off, John Hollinger sitting in the front or sitting in a row of media folks watching a summer league game as the news broke. It was amusing to see a conga line of people look at their phones and blurt "what?" and then began cackling. Gary Trent Jr. played his way out of the rotation on a bad team last season. Suffice it to say, it seemed unlikely he would generate a bidding war for much of the minimum salary. Yet, Trent becomes one of the few players this offseason to get 4 fully guaranteed seasons in a market where most role players have been squeezed on both years and dollars. So it makes a lot of, I don't want to accuse without knowing, but I don't know what else it could be to give the man 4 guaranteed years of $64 million. And I don't know if the league's even going to find anything Yeah, if it's like you said, the handshake type of deal, I mean, otherwise this just looks like an awfully, awfully bad decision by Horst and the Bucks franchise too. But it's just, I can't see any other reason to do this other than you're honoring a handshake deal from last year.
And then even if the NBA does do something, the Bucks are almost already penalizing themselves with this deal, giving I think it's like $16 million a year to Gary Trent Jr. When you already have Ryan Rollins, Kevin Porter Jr., now Braden Burries and Tyler Herro and AJ Green. So where does he fit into all this? And I'm guessing they move off of one of these, but you're not moving off of Burries. You're not moving off of Rollins. Obviously not Trent Jr. now. So either Kevin Porter, AJ Green, or Tyler Herro, you figure one of them's got to go. That's not even mentioning Karis LeVert and Kasparis. I don't know how to say his last name.
Sam Vicini from The Athletic also said part of this is kind of a back and forth between some of these writers, but he said, for 2 months now, I've gotten asked by league sources not connected to the Bucks or Clutch Agency, which is Gary Trent Jr.'s representation, if I had heard that the Bucks were going to give Gary Trent Jr. something in the ballpark of the full mid-level exception for 4 years. And my response was typically something along the lines of, there's no way they can do that coming off the season he had. This deal, as Sam Amick and Eric Name reported, has been anticipated. The NBA should pretty clearly look into this contract in regard to salary cap circumvention. I cannot remember a player agreeing to sign for the minimum 1 year, having his worst season in 7 years, where he was at below average player by any standard, and then receiving 5 times as much money in free agency the following year, let alone 4 guaranteed years in a marketplace where starting quality players on good teams, which Trent proved he was not this past season, had an exceptionally difficult time getting multiple guaranteed years. Regarding what another writer said above, that feels at very least some real circumstantial evidence that this deal cannot be rationally explained. But then again, the worst punishment the Bucks can receive here might be paying Gary Trent Jr. $64 million for the next 4 years, given that he's seen downticks in scoring average in each of the last 5 years and overall offensive efficiency. And 4 of the last 5, outside of the spike season in 24-25, his lone season since 2020, where he had a true shooting percentage above league average as a player who derives most of his value as a shooter and a scorer. And then John Hollinger says, voiding the contract would be strongly in the Bucks' interest. Penalizing the Bucks' draft picks or fining them, on the other hand, would be possible remedies if the league let the contract stand. So it sure seems like everybody's expecting the NBA to investigate that. I mean, innocent until proven guilty, but it sure seems like everybody feels like the Bucks are guilty at this point. So something to kind of monitor. But yeah, when I saw that Saturday pop up, I'm like, what? Even I think casual Bucks fans are like, what are you doing with that contract? Like, come on now. Unless Gary Trent goes out there and all of a sudden averages 25 points a game this season, then maybe the Bucks look like absolute flipping geniuses. But right now, no, there's no way. There's just no way. Just looks ridiculous.
I remember watching him in the playoffs against the Pacers, and I thought they were going to give him big money after some of those performances because he looked great in that series. But at least at the end of it. But yeah, that at the time where it is now, it just feels like they made a deal last year, little handshake deal, and now they have to pay up. But I don't see this working on the Bucks' favor at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same here, man. Same here. All right, let's take a quick break. But we'll be back with some more baseball. Continue to send us your VFW post at 305 best and worst of the weekend. We're going to play a little Monday morning chat GPTs. We asked our chat GPT, everybody's a Monday morning quarterback, right? So, well, we asked them a Brewers question, since one of the questions we're throwing out there this morning is, what's the biggest thing, area, position, however you want to phrase it, that the Brewers need to address during this All-Star break? What do you think is the biggest thing they need to address? So we asked our Monday morning quarterback or Monday morning chat GPT, We'll tell you what they had to say coming up after these quick words. Summer is here, and that means it is the perfect time to give your home a fresh new look with Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire. Whether you are updating a family room, finishing a basement, or refreshing a bedroom, or maybe finally tackling that remodeling project you've been putting off, Carpet City Flooring Center has the flooring options you are looking for. From beautiful luxury vinyl planks to carpet, tile, and so much more, you will find quality products and expert guidance every single step of the way. Their experienced team will help you find the right flooring to fit your style, your budget, and with professional installation available, your project can be completed quickly and correctly. Make this summer the summer you transform your home. Stop on in to Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire today and discover why so many area homeowners trust Carpet City Flooring Center for all of their flooring needs. Carpet City Flooring Center, helping you love where you live. So, Monday mornings, we play a little Monday morning quarterback. We all play a little Monday morning quarterback, but we involved the computers, the artificial intelligence aliens out there when it comes to our Monday morning quarterback. So we come up with a question or a topic and just ask for their Monday morning quarterback take. And, well, since we're talking a lot of Brewers, we threw out the question. Still need a name for our ChatGPT alien computer person. But we just simply asked, do you think, what's the biggest need? The biggest need that the Milwaukee Brewers need now that we're in the All-Star break? What is the biggest need that the Brewers need? And they ranked the top three. Okay. Number 3 is a bat. They say this probably surprises some fans. I love how they say, but I'd put offense third. Milwaukee's lineup has become much more dangerous than many expected. They've gotten contributions from several young players. They've shown improved athleticism and are capable of manufacturing runs rather than relying solely on the home run. That said, if the right player became available, I'd love to see them add a right-handed power bat, someone who consistently gets on base, or another middle-of-the-order hitter who lengthens the lineup. The key is that it has to be the right hitter, not just a bat for the sake of making a move. Okay, I think that's fair, right? I think that's fair. Number 2, bullpen. The bullpen has been a strength for years, but you can never have enough late-inning arms. Reasons it's second. Relief pitching can wear down over a long season. Injuries happen frequently to relievers. One more high-leverage arm shortens playoff games dramatically. The Brewers have shown they know how to develop bullpen talent, but adding an experienced 8th or 9th inning option could make them even tougher. Number 1 is starting pitcher. Milwaukee has done what Milwaukee always seems to do: piece together a competitive rotation despite injuries and young pitchers stepping into bigger roles. But if they're serious about making a deep postseason run, they need another reliable starter who can take the ball every 5th day. Why it's number 1? The postseason is won with quality starting pitching. It reduces the workload on the bullpen. It provides insurance if a young pitcher hits an innings limit or struggles late in the year. You'd ideally like to have 4 starters you trust in a playoff series. The Brewers don't necessarily need an ace. They need someone who can consistently give them 6 quality innings against good lineups. Justin, how did our Chat GPT Monday morning alien computer person do?
I think it just basically amplified everything that we've kind of been saying. Mm-hmm. Starting first, bullpen second, and then a bat third. Specifically a power bat if one becomes available, but like it said, people have been stepping up and contributing more, so the bat is kind of on the back burner for now, especially with the pitching injuries on the forefront.
Yeah, I think, too, when, if we want to be greedy, I love all 3, right? I mean, I think if they got somehow all 3, I think everybody would be happy and ecstatic. But I think now with some of the injuries and some of the fatigue with those starters, and the Brewers have shown the ability. I mean, think about it too. Shane Drone has bullpen experience too. So if you get another starter, you kind of almost add to the bullpen by maybe moving a guy like Shane Drone or Brandon or somebody else to the bullpen. And Shane Drone was awesome in there in the month of May. And he's done a good job as a starter, too. So it almost feels like if you add a starter, then you kind of push some guys down and you add to the bullpen that way. I know DL Hall is working his way back and trying to come back, and you got some other guys that are in the mix there too. But yeah, I think if somehow it's not going to be Skubal. I mean, knock on wood. Otherwise, I'll have egg on my face. I don't think anybody, like you mentioned earlier too, it is going to be, I think, a seller's market, and that price tag is going to be incredibly high, especially if there's going to be more teams in contention. But like you said too, you look at the American League standings. How many teams are still in it? There's a lot, even in the National League too. I mean, if you want to look at, Detroit right now, they're 44-52, but they're only 3.5 games back from a wild card spot. Okay, this is like the Eastern Conference in the NBA from a few years ago, where teams under 500 might get into the postseason. Probably not in baseball, but you get the idea. You never know, but. Right now, the Mariners and the Twins are tied for the final wildcard spot, and they're 1 game under 500. So, at this point, if you're the Tigers, you still have a pot. You're plus 24 in run differential. You're playing way below your expectations. To me, the Tigers are maybe the one team in this entire league that has the biggest decision to make. Do you trade Skubal to try to get something in return? Or do you finish off the season and maybe something magical happens? That's why I'm glad I'm not a general manager. Because, yeah, you're not playing that well, but, man, if you can make the postseason and you get to throw out a Skubal, you're going to have a chance, right? You're going to have a chance to do. So I don't know what they're going to do at this point.
That's why the rest of July is going to be very, very telling. Because if you're, 4 or 5 games back, Skubal can start those games, and that might be the games that you need to win. Mm-hmm. But if you're anything more than that, I think you have to make the difficult choice, but probably the right choice, to just sell him and get something for him in return.
Yeah.
But then who takes him? Who is willing to give up most of, if not pretty much their entire farm, at least the exciting parts of it, to get that final piece? Mm-hmm. When you're just going to most likely run into the buzzsaw that is the Dodgers anyways.
It might be the Dodgers that gets Skubal. And I think that's the frustrating part. But you kind of have to tip you. Not only do they spend a lot, but their farm system's really good. Like, they build a team. They do a really good job. Brewers, by a lot of the other standards now, have the top farm system, but the Dodgers are right there. Dodgers were number 1. Now, for a lot of them, they're number 2. And I think that's the frustrating part, or top 5, or wherever they're so 3, Dodgers 4 right now, right? So, still, for a team that spends as much money and they got a top 5 farm system, that's the frustration. But it's good business. They're building. They're doing a really good job of building their squad, because they're going out there and spending money. They're playing the system with the deferred money, obviously, but hey, they're not breaking rules, right? I wish the Brewers were able to do a lot of that stuff. When you have the top payroll and you're a top 5 farm system too, what do you do? Because they have the ammo to acquire Skubal if they wanted to.
Yeah, and then they've got the money to extend him on top of that.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that would be the worst case scenario.
If they get Skubal and extend him, which I know they would try to get an extension done right away, because they would probably defer a decent amount of it, baseball will not happen in 2027. I'm already fairly confident that it won't.
The whole season, you don't think it'll happen?
It's going to be tough. I think that owners have come together and agreed on a floor and a cap, but the players absolutely will not. And I think it was even an ad on YouTube from the players union saying, don't let them cap our game. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be the longest lockout in a while. But if the Dodgers get Skubal and extend him, it absolutely will not happen in 2027, I feel. Mm-hmm.
it doesn't feel great. I mean, I'm probably in single digits in confidence level of the season even starting on time, like percentage-wise, single digits. If there's two sides, like a players' union in a league that feels like there's so many issues, it's baseball. Right? You go back to the COVID year where they couldn't even figure out when to start. How to do that. They couldn't figure that out to come to common ground. And you look at their history of strike. I just have no confidence that they're going to be able to figure this out before the season starts. And you're right, because that's going to have major impacts on free agents, on players, on what teams can do, what they're going to be allowed to do. You're going to be in such a holding pattern here where, and I don't know where the timeline is, but I would imagine as soon as that, and the thing is to remember, baseball offseason starts like right away. Whereas football, you have a couple months. Baseball offseason starts almost like, a month or so after? I mean, it's right away. So even if they come to an agreement, you're going to have an offseason where there's going to be some moves, free agency, signings and that. So you're not going to be able to start right away. It stinks. And it sucks because the Brewers are a young team, too, that I don't want them to waste a year.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the tough thing. And, I mean, you have to have this time. Otherwise, you just have a little bit of an extended spring training where people are signing, but then the start of the year is incredibly sloppy and rough. But that's the thing. And that's what I was upset, too, is the Brewers are young, and I really don't want to lose a year of a lot of these guys, even if they get another year tacked on to their contract or contracts like take a pause. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask. I don't know if they would lose the service time or, that sort of thing.
This is it'll be Contreras' final ARB year, so I would assume that he would just get another year tacked on so that you don't just lose a year of a player. But like you said, all the other leagues, they seem to have a better players association, like kind of
relationship,
yeah, but I think a lot of that goes hand in hand with the salary cap.
Yep.
You don't hear about NFL, NBA, or NHL going on strike anytime soon. This will be the second lockout in 7 years, I think. Something like that. I can't remember. It was in college when it last happened.
It could be that COVID one where they didn't get in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We got to take our final break for this hour. We'll ask Justin his home run derby prediction for tonight's. Are you geeked up for the home run derby? Maybe you will be because it's going to be a hot one and you want to stay in some AC. So if you want, you can send us your predictions. We'll take a quick break, and we'll wrap up the second hour as we approach halftime. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Summer cookout season is here, and you know what? Nobody does summer grilling better than Mike's Star Market in Eau Claire. From premium steaks and fresh burgers to brats and chicken, you'll find quality and value throughout the store. Before your next cookout, make sure you stop by Mike's Star Market and stock up on the freshest ingredients around. You can visit them today at 2238 Heimstead Road, and make sure you're following their Facebook page too for some sales, last-second sales, deals, contests, all that good stuff. Mike's Star Market in Eau Claire, helping make every summer gathering a delicious one. We've got the Home Run Derby tonight to kick off All-Star Week festivities, and just to kind of go through the list. You've got the Derby participants, right, Justin?
Yes, I do.
Who do we got here? Go for it. I'll let you.
All right. Sorry. So we got Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, both from the Phillies and their home ballpark. Junior Caminero from the Rays. Munetaka Murakami from the White Sox.
I'm glad he's in it.
So am I.
Yeah.
Jordan Walker from the Cardinals. Jack Caglione from the Royals, which is a bit of a surprise pick. Wilson Contreras from the Red Sox.
Boo.
Yep. And Ben Rice from the Yankees.
All right. So break it down. Who are you picking?
I have the final round coming down to Murakami and Harper. And due to experience, I think Harper takes it. Is the last one to win in his own ballpark in 2018, and I think he does it again in Philly.
All right. It's probably a smart one to go with somebody who's familiar with. Now, I don't know if this matters or if they say Schwarber and Harper having the same guy pitch.
I don't believe they are.
Okay.
Because I think Harper, there was some story, I think, about him, who he's picking.
Okay. I know sometimes, it's like sometimes a guy will have his dad or maybe a high school coach or whatever. So I wasn't sure if it was
I meant to see Bryce Harper. Oh, okay, yeah, here we go.
Their third base coach.
The Dodgers.
For the Dodgers
coach. Though.
Yeah,
I think they have a
history.
Yeah, a history. Maybe not though, but it said that.
So Harper had his father throw to him in 2018. Harper, okay,
who was not pitched.
Okay, interesting. All right. Strategy involved in that one.
Yeah, I think it's just basically this guy is throwing for a lot of people in the home run derby, so he just went to him, and I guess he's got a reputation.
All right, I like it. So no, I remember younger just being so into the home run derby. So I'll be paying attention to because I don't want to be outside tonight with the warm weather. So still recovering from the weekend, but. Give me maybe a guy that you think might surprise tonight. Maybe a little bit of a wild card pick that you think, hey, you know what? He might do better than what maybe some people think. Because I feel like there's always that guy that surprises.
That's tough because all these people I feel like are honestly pretty good. Caglione, just because he's young, he might kind of surprise people. Maybe he has a bit more energy. Because I want to say Jordan Walker, but that doesn't feel like a surprise with how he's been mashing this season.
Yeah.
I mean, even it says here with Ben Rice being like the 8th and final guy, that sets up a very fun derby, a very interesting derby. Mm-hmm. I was hoping Bowers was gonna work his way sneak in, yeah, but.
Which, by the way, can we also throw out there with guys that have been dropping out of the All-Star game, the fact that Bryce Terang still is not in it is a travesty and is a mockery and is a shame or whatever verb and adjectives we want to use to this. The fact that he's still not in there is just, call me a homer, but it's mind-boggling.
Well, remember we looked at the stats of him and Albies. I think that was last week.
Yep.
And Terang had him in almost every single thing.
I don't get it.
Does not make sense.
Ohtani backed out, so I don't know if they just did the straight-up DH versus DH thing, but, I mean, come on. Anybody can be a DH in today's pitch in baseball, for crying out loud. Just get the best players in there. He is one of the best players in Major League Baseball at his position. He deserves to be in the All-Star game. There's no question about it.
I guess maybe it makes his arbitration cheaper.
Oh, God.
He doesn't have that accolade.
Yeah.
They'll bring it up.
That's the thing. Is like, that is so... I hate arbitration because I feel like it's so awkward. You know, a team wants you, but, you know, you're not this good. So that whole Corbin Burns thing from a few years ago, that mess, it's just got to be so awkward.
Well, if you're a player, why would you even go to the hearing? I wouldn't.
Yeah, I
just to hear how you're not worth the money that you want.
Yeah.
Just let my agent or whoever deals with it, let them deal with it, and then I'll wait for the results.
Yep. And don't tell me what was said maybe in the meeting either until after. Like, what if I'm not on that team anymore or something? Because, yeah, that's just so awkward.
Tell me when I become a free agent, if they have an offer on the table, then tell me what they said.
Because that might change my decision.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, but money always talks. Money always talks. So, all right. Yeah, we got that. Again, reminder, Brewers, they're not going to be back in action until Friday. So, you know, now that the draft is over with, I hope they shift their gear or their outlook. And Matt Arnold's huddling up with his staff and figuring out, okay, what do we need to do by that deadline? Because that's going to come up quick here. I think it's August 3rd is the deadline. And that's like 3 weeks away. So we're not that far off here. I still think they make a move. It's probably just not a big, splashy, sexy move that fans are going to be happy about.
That's not Matt Arnold's style. The big moves aren't. I think it was Stearns who traded for Yelich and like signed Kane and stuff. I think Matt Arnold likes to hoard his prospects. I don't think he really likes to give them away. Mm-hmm. But in a year like this year, where you are absolutely in a championship window, you have 59 wins, second best team in baseball, should absolutely be a go-get-it year, even if it's not Skubal, just somebody that is an established pitcher. And then if you can, a bat. I feel like a relief pitcher might be inevitable because they're a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
But then it's either a starting pitcher or a bat on top of that. And hopefully it's...
Yeah, I feel like the bullpen arm is like almost a guarantee that the Brewers are going to try to get. You know, that because that feels like that's the one area that they're always looking to add is more arms in the pen. And to provide that, I mean, I feel like they like those versatile arms too. I wouldn't mind a back end guy that has some experience, like a high leverage situation, you know, to maybe, you know, with McGill and Uribe. But I mean, I remember those Brewers teams where it was like 7, 8, 9, good luck. Because if you get to the 7th inning with a lead, they essentially had 3 closers, and you're good.
I think there was, I know one year it was, I think like Jeffries, Hader, Knebel.
Yep.
And then I think like Jeffries, Hader, Williams was another combination. Those were a lot of fun to watch. Because then if you get 6 out of your starter, you're golden.
Yeah, exactly. So I could see them potentially doing that because I feel like they've got bullpen guys that can give you a little bit of distance, especially if guys are going to be healthier and coming back and you move some of those other guys to the pen. So, all right, we only got 30 seconds left until the news updates here. So don't forget, you can continue to send us your VFW Post 305 best and worst of the weekends. We've got JC Nisi, Justice Cleveland from WEAU 13 News joining us in 1 hour from now. We'll do some local sports roundup with him, brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. So, Justin, thanks, man. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
You got it. All right.